a great day today because Ethereum is now breaking out against Bitcoin. Today, you can see that Ethereum has now reclaimed and confirmed this moving average of support, more specifically the 786 fib, $265. This is a very key area between the 886 as well, 2.5 to 2.6. Now, this is the deepest we should retrace before continuation higher. I am measuring this move up since November, pretty much when Trump was announced that he would become the next president. And we can see that ETH had a move up from 2.3 to 4K. Now, over there, we actually tapped into 4.1K. So I do have to drag this up a tiny bit. And that was our second top over here. This really seemed like it was the breakout and that ETH was going to target its previous all-time high. However, it didn't play out like that. In the end, we came down for key levels of support. We're looking for this higher low to hold. Otherwise, we start a deeper correction, attempting to lose this low. And that's what actually happened in the end because this higher low was lost. So we start a deeper correction, attempting to lose the next low. And that's why we see a massive capitulation candle that did attempt to wipe this all out. But in the end, we can see that the candle had closed in another important key level of support. However, we see prices trading underneath that zone, so it has to be marked out as resistance. But very important to see 2.8 and 2.9K reclaimed. Otherwise, at the moment, what we're seeing is a relief rally before bleeding back down. And I don't want to go any lower. So check out my Bitcoin updates as they develop and the Ethereum updates as they develop. We'll take a look at Bitcoin dominance today and Ethereum Bitcoin as well. But yeah, right now we're seeing Ethereum breaking out against Bitcoin and very similar on the chart because we're also seeing the yellow moving average being reclaimed and confirmed as support with a further break towards the 20 moving average on the daily time frame. And it's the same situation here, guys. We do not want this to eventually develop into pumping into resistance and then rolling over to new lows. Look at this example to the left over here. In fact, we'll even look at this example soon after that. Right now, you can see that it's pretty identical. The only difference is this wick, this capitulation wasn't as bad, but we can just pretend there was a big wick and then we start bleeding down into it, simply like this over here. Then we can see the moving average was reclaimed and we tapped into the 20 and rolled over and continued lower. We don't want that to happen here. And that's what can happen. If you followed me from my Bitcoin update, you would know, of course, that it's got a falling wedge breakout. It's just needing to reclaim the moving averages before a potential daily bearish cross. We need to really stop that from happening. The only way is Bitcoin taking out like 98.5K. I think that's the level. But yeah, let's look at that other example here. Same situation where it reclaimed the yellow and the 20, but ran into that orange one, the 55 or 50, doesn't matter which one you use. And then rolled over to new lows. That could be the case, guys. How could that happen? So essentially, with such a move down, there's just going to be so many resistances in the way. So we're being shown them at the moment. It could have failed at the very earliest, but we're now confirming this move up into this previous resistance. We don't want it to lose the low. We need it to higher low. And then it will try and attempt to get into the 55 moving average. But you can see that beneath the last high, so technically still would be a lower high, could roll over into new lows from there, as that example in the past shows over here. But why could that happen? Let's head over to the Bitcoin chart and try and show and explain. So on the Bitcoin chart, with such a move down, it creates resistance. And although we have this bullish pattern, which might be clearer on this Bitcoin chart, we've seen the breakout here, retest, another retest, ran into the moving averages and failed. Another retest of this key support, 95.9K. So 96 is pretty much holding us up. But what's keeping us down is the moving averages right over here. So 98.5, as I said earlier, is what Bitcoin must break. But remember, beyond that point, we should come up into the target. However, the target also has all of that key resistance. Let me get rid of the other fib. All of that key resistance up ahead. So that could then send us lower from there. It would still be considered a lower high. We need to see Bitcoin reclaiming that and it will target those levels. In fact, up as high as 140. So for going back to Ethereum, ETH could run into that area and still roll over. On the ETH Bitcoin, that's into the 55 and rolling over. So I will update as it develops. It's important. The Bitcoin dominance chart is currently coming down. That's positive because it's just further confirming the ETH Bitcoin chart, which has seen a breakout. The Bitcoin dominance is coming down because a day like today where alts are outperforming Bitcoin dominance is going to be taken away from Bitcoin. So this could just be a bounce. Remember, I've shown you all those key levels that are in the way still as resistance. And on this chart, it's going to be key levels of support that could bring bounces and make this continue higher. The only way I see this chart continuing higher is if the market is dumping. So we really don't want to see Bitcoin failing the breakout and heading lower. Otherwise, Bitcoin dominance will keep going up and ETH BTC will go down. And of course, Ethereum will go down worse than Bitcoin. So just a heads up. But at the moment, we're seeing ETH breaking out against Bitcoin, and we are expecting continuation higher up into the 20 moving average next. If Bitcoin can break out of 98.5K, we're going to see it target around 102 to 107. This will allow ETH to get up potentially as high as 3.1K again. That'll be lovely. To get into in and around 3, let's just say 3. Yeah, at most 3.1K before potential rollover. But the very first resistance that we need to tackle first is 2.8 to 2.9K. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. Make sure on your way out to like, subscribe, comment, and share to bump up the algorithm. Less than 800 subscribers away from 10K. Please help me achieve that. If you want to get educated, I have a Discord community, one-to-one mentorship, and an ebook. The links are found down below. Cheers, everyone.